I'm live. I'm live here on YouTube for the first time. I'd say the first time because the first actual time that I did it, it wasn't right. It wasn't sounding right. It wasn't good. It wasn't aligned. Okay. This is a message. This is a message for my Libras. From a Libra to my Libras. Happy birthday. Let me first and foremost say happy birthday to my Libras out there. Even if you have Libra in your chart other than your sun sign, happy birthday. I love y'all. I love Libras. Every Libra that I've run into, I love them. And maybe it's because I understand them. Maybe it's because I understand Libras. If you see me looking up, I have another camera going. So that's why my eyes look crazy up and down, whatever. But I just want to say welcome to all of my new subscribers. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel. I am Bonnie Anahata, also known as the Aligner. I am an art therapy and alignment coach. And this channel is specifically for assisting you in finding your space and center of alignment always through transitions, through life's obstacles. I am here to give you advice, coaching, and tools on how to constantly make sure that you're accepting and soothing and nurturing of yourself while we're matriculating through the self-development process. Okay, because we got so many people out here that's telling you the steps to self-development, telling you what you need to do to develop yourself and to potentially be this, go on this particular map that is made by somebody else, when we really are supposed to focus on the map that is within us, the guidance that is within us. Okay, so helping you always find your center and find acceptance of where you are now, no matter where you are in the self-development journey, knowing that you and your plan, your internal plan on life, comes above any outside developmental plan. You feel me? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started with the message today. The message today is specifically for my Libras. Let me first of all get the air right, get me straight. This is my I don't even know if you can see it. This is my alignment alignment oil, artistic alignment oil, to assist you. This particular one is my lower chakras. So this particular one helps to ground myself throughout whatever I'm dealing with, throughout any other energies that I'm exchanging with. It helps me to stay grounded, and it helps me to feel that confidence within me, and the combination of scents just help me to stay level regardless of what I encounter or what type of energies I encounter. And you can always get that on artisticalignment.com. But yes, let's set this mood, let's set this space. It's very important that I came to my Libras before Libra season was up to talk. Okay. uh we got a little bit of a talk we gotta have. Okay, my Libras. I gotta talk to us about um our nature, and how our nature can really be our downfall and our detriment if we let it. Okay, if we do not tap into our nature and the intricate details and workings of our nature, so that we know what we're encountering, so that we know what we're facing, so that we know, okay, this is this trait in me coming up because of that, and so that we know how to maneuver in those particular situations. So let's first talk about the nature of Libras, right? The nature of Libras. First of all, Libra is seventh house energy. I have a Libra sun, and I also have a lot of seventh house energy within my chart. But Libra is about harmony. It's about relationships. It rules validation when it comes to outward validation, external validation. It rules again harmony and peace and people pleasing. So on the one side of the spectrum, that can be very beautiful when it comes to your relationships, because Libra knows how to communicate and find the common ground within their relationships so that they are not coming off too harshly, and so they are still coming off very authentically and truthfully. So Libra has that balance, that beautiful grace and balance within us, to be able to exchange in relationships without being too harsh on others, right? We have that beauty, we have that love for beauty and aesthetically, and looking outward and loving to see things beautiful, whatever it is that we engage in. We love harmony and things to flow, in a give or take situation, and we like that sense of balance. We like to be balanced in all aspects of our lives. We Now, let's get those are the great traits about a Libra. Oh, we're when it comes to being balanced, we're the scales of justice. We rule justice and and balance and authority in a sense, because we kind of rule integrity and making sure that we get our due just, right? Our due justice. So yeah, so that's the great things about Libras. Libras, again, they will be your lifelong friends. Libras are great when it comes to being partners and when it comes to being friends, and also ruled by the sign of Venus, how to love. We're great at learning people's love languages and exchanging that. We're very strategic on how to love. So now let's transfer over to the not so great traits about a Libra, because we all have traits about us that are not necessarily on the high vibrational thing and end of the spectrum. And that's the thing that we have to understand and accept within ourselves, is that we're not all high vibrational. So you can't just focus on the high vibrational things within you. You have to also focus on the lower level traits within yourself. Learn them, master them, and know when it is serving or not serving you or not when they come up. Okay. So the lower level traits aside of the Libra. Now it's funny because when it comes to the higher vibrational advantages of Libra, those things can actually also become a lower vibrational thing for the unbalanced Libra. So like I was saying, when it comes to people pleasing and wanting to have a give or take in our relationships, the thing is, the unbalanced Libra, we are so focused on people pleasing. We're so focused on people pleasing that we will give up our needs. We will give up our needs for the greater good and harmony of the relationship. And we all know in the end that that's not good. That's why if you know a Libra can communicate very well. But when you see a Libra blow up, oh, you see a Libra blow up. Okay. You see a Libra blow up. And it's almost like it's no stopping them. And that is because they've stuffed down their needs for themselves so much. They've internally stuffed down their needs for the greater good of relationships, that it's just building and building and stagnant energy within them. So when it bubbles to the top, they it's no controlling it. And so yeah, when it comes to people pleasing, Libras can be very like um sacrificial of themselves when it comes to people pleasing. Now, also when it comes to people pleasing, now people pleasing also gives us a sense of, because we care about relationships so much, people pleasing also gives us a sense of like dependency, because we care about relationships so much and we care about how they think about us and we care about how they feel on us. We can easily lean into dependency on relationships because we feel like, okay, well, this person is in a relationship with me, whether it is, mother, father, sister, friend, whatever, all relationships. This person is in a relationship with me. So because I value relationships so much, I know that they're going to do this for me or entitled to doing this for me. And we can lean on that dependency. And of course, sometimes our relationship obliges that and sometimes they don't. And that is where we can really fall into dependency of validation. Again, Libra rules external validation. So the unbalanced Libra can really be dependent on outward validation. We can become so dependent on outward validation and seeking, like, even when it comes to the people pleasing part. That people pleasing part is a little bit kind of manipulative if you think about it, because why are you people pleasing? You're people pleasing because you want to see them happy. But why do you want to see them happy? Because it makes you happy, because it makes you feel good, because it shows that they like you. So in turn, the people pleasing is really for you as well. So that means that we are seeking outwardly we have this tendency to seek outwardly for people to validate us so that we can feel good about ourselves. This is built into the Libra dynamic, into Venus, dynamic. This is built into that, and that is something that Libras have to stay on top of, because it can be very detrimental to you and your development, to me and my development as a Libra. Um, let's give some examples. When it comes to like seeking outward validation, if you don't have a sense of, we're naturally going to seek some outward validation. But that's the thing, because that's our nature, we have to balance it with a ton of inward validation so that we don't feel less than when we're not getting that validation. So that validation, if that outward validation doesn't come through, it brings you, it's okay because you have already filled yourself, right? So let's say in friendships, I have come across so many Libras, including myself, that acts so much of their relationships. Like, honestly, like, again, Venus is, the sign of romance, and the sign of, and Libra is the sign of, like, we idealism, like we want to see beauty. And so when it comes to our ideal things, they all, or relationships, they look beautiful, to us. So in turn, we put some serious expectations on our relationships and our friendships. And those expectations can be really detrimental to our security and our sense of self-acceptance and, validation. And so I've come across so many Libras that put so much weight on what their friends need to do for them. Like, before I came into my understanding of like my astrological chart and how it really dictated, who I am and what and how I maneuver through things. I will always feel this like sense of like not non-acceptance, or always seeking outward for validation around my birthday time. And it's so weird. It's like the time where you want to be, it's the time that you do want to be celebrated or whatever by anybody, but you first got to celebrate yourself. And so a lot of the times, Libras, we don't celebrate ourselves, and we go straight outside of us to look for that celebration outside of ourselves, right? And then, of course, because law of attraction, because we're not filling ourselves with that celebration, then we're not necessarily getting it from our relationships either, because that's what we're attracting, because that's what we fill ourselves with. We don't fill ourselves with celebration, so we don't attract celebration from our relationships. And then in turn, now you're upset. Now you're feeling like your relationships aren't worth it. Now you're feeling like, now you're feeling down on yourself because you don't feel celebrated or you don't feel appreciated by your relationships. And now you're putting even more a sense of like control or expectation on your relationships, because you feel like they're showing you that you're worthless, or you feel worthless because of the lack of what they're showing you. And that's the thing when it comes to Libras. Like, we have to be in charge of our own self-validation, because naturally we're going to want to seek the celebration and the acceptance of in our relationships. We're naturally going to do that. But if we feel ourselves enough, if we first learn ourselves and then feel ourselves in the way that we need to be filled, in turn, we will see those relationships clearly, and we will see what relationships are really not serving and what relationships are not. We won't be expecting things from those relationships from an insecure place, because it's in our nature. It's very easy for Libras to seek that outside external validation. We're just going to do it. You just gotta be real with yourself to say, that's a part of who I am. Like, I do like when people praise me. I do like when people celebrate me. It feels good. I like it. But you can't be dependent on it. You can't be dependent on it. And how you stop yourself from being dependent on it is feeling yourself, learning yourself, and feeling yourself in the areas that you usually seek outside of you. And again, oh my God, I come across so many Libras all the time who just feel like they always, we've kind of like, can easily fall into this like I'm a victim thing, because we have dependency, because we have dependency issues and people pleasing issues, right? And so we can easily fall into that sense of, hold on, give me a second. She dropped her. Let me get baby right. Let me get baby right. Here you go, baby. I'm coming, folks. Baby runs the show, so I gotta get her right. Baby runs the show over here. Okay, here we go. So Libras can really easily fall into that I'm a victim thing. Like, so much. Like, I've been on the side. I've been on the side of the victim, and I've been on the side as the victor when it comes to Libras. And because we can get so dependent and seek validation, it's easy to always feel like people are rejecting us, because we're always reaching outside of ourselves. So much so that we put unrealistic expectations on people validating us. Like, everybody is not always required to, spend time with you when you want to spend that time. Everybody's not required to invite you to places that they may didn't want to invite you to. Everybody's not required, but it's not indicative of, or, or, or that doesn't mean that something's wrong with the relationship. You got to ask yourself, why am I seeking these things in this relationship? What am I seeking from them? Why am I seeking this from them? Because I don't feel validated within myself, or because I don't feel supported, or because I don't feel, or because I always feel rejected. If you're always feeling rejected, if you're always feeling not supported, even if you are genuinely attracting that in your relationships, and there's some relationships that might not be serving you, you still got to look within yourself first to see, okay, why am I attracting this? This is spirit trying to tell me something. So anytime where, as a Libra, as my nature as a Libra, I go into this victimhood mindset, or I'm a victim, or everybody doesn't like me, or everybody's doing this to me, or they this, or they that. Whether it's me feeling it within myself, whether I end up, whether I end up spouting it out to other people because I feel away. Anytime I get in that mode, I have to take a step back to say, okay, what do you need? Where do you need to nourish yourself? What are you looking for in your relationship? Because a lot of the things that a lot of us Libras are looking for in our relationships is because we're not doing it for ourselves. We're trying to take the scapegoat route because we value relationships so much. And because we're easily a people pleaser, we take the scapegoat route and go directly past ourselves to go to them to ask for that acceptance, to ask for that validation. And it doesn't work like that. Spirit is going to continue to show you that it doesn't work like that. You have to learn into yourself enough to know, to have accountability to say, hey, okay, I'm asking a lot from these people. Or even if you don't feel like it's a lot, you still got to learn yourself enough to know, what is it that I need on a regular basis? Okay, well, how do I give myself to this on a regular basis so that I am not forcing it on my relationships? Okay. And, that comes with constantly learning into yourself, constantly doing the shadow work to figure out your triggers, to figure out our traumas, and, to understand our shadow, to understand that shadow that's hiding that says, hey, you're being insecure. That's why you're reaching for that validation from them. You got to nourish yourself. That is what the stuff like that is within the shadows. That is why shadow work is important. Because if you don't do shadow work, it's going to keep hiding there, and you're going to keep reaching outside of yourself for the things that it's you who has to give yourself. So it's very important to learn into yourself. So in order to get to the process of accepting yourself, so that you can maneuver properly yourself in certain relationships and situations, okay? And if you need assistance with doing so, I definitely encourage you to book an alignment coaching today to help you. What I do is I look into and I feel into your energy to figure out where you have blockages. And then I go forward with coaching you on how to get past these blockages with different exercises when it comes to writing, with different prompts and exercises, somatic exercises, even drama and different expressive arts exercises that I help coach you on and get you through that process of learning yourself, finding the shadows, and engaging in the shadows, and even displaying the shadows when need to be, so that you're confident in accepting the whole of who you are, okay? And you can book that artistic alignment coaching on artisticalignment.com, okay? Thank you so much again. Happy birthday to my Libras. Happy birthday to me. My birthday was the 14th, which was Thursday. So I had to come to you before the Libra season was up. But thank you so much. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this video. Thank y'all. Peace.